Everyone, you just joined the webinar, Becoming the Lender Your Realtor Partners Can't Live Without. We're going to show you exactly what that means, how to get there, what you can take advantage of. Let's move forward and check things out for you. Yes. We have a voice activated slide changer. See? So I am Alex Sishin, co-founder CEO here at Sales Boomerang, and I'm with Brian. Pronounce your last name for us.
Manwaring. Yeah.
Manwaring. Awesome. That's awesome. He's a group product manager at Simple Nexus. We'll be sharing the stage today and talking about how to make you something your realtors can't live without. Let's move forward. There we go. All right. So look, we want to start with a poll. Want to get you guys engaged. You're already telling us where you're from. That's fantastic. But this is a conversation. We want you guys to be involved because of the things we hear. We may adjust how we present to the audience that's here listening to this right now. So first question, what percentage of your business is from realtor referrals? Think about this, okay? Don't just throw out 100% because that might not be true. Think about everything that you're doing right now and where you're getting your business from. You may think it's 100% referrals, but maybe you're forgetting the events you're doing in the community and thinking that's referral based or realtor based, but that's you doing something yourself. So think about it and tell us what percent. And don't think zero either, right? Like remember the last time you got a referral. So where's that number? Okay. I was just giving a fist bump to an imaginary person over here. All right, thanks, Pablo. So let's see what the results of this are. Let's check it out. What percentage of your business is coming from realtors? Okay, so look at this, Brian. We have 48% of you say it's between 26 and 50%. 26 and 50% of your business coming from realtors, and then 51 to 75. Okay, and then some of you is like, hey, almost everything is coming from that, but there's a good healthy mix there. So when you see something like this, Brian, what does it say to you? Like when you see these answers?
Honestly, first thought I had was there's a significant portion of business that's coming from realtor referrals, but it could be better. I mean, 26 to 50%. I think that's right in the middle. But I look at that and I think the lenders that are doing the best business, the lenders that have built up, a portfolio of referrals, I think they traditionally see a little bit higher in referral business. I think there's an opportunity there for everybody to really build loyalty with the partners they're working with and to see some new business coming in.
And so, Brian, let me ask you this. So you're saying, hey, the best lenders out there are getting more business from referral from realtors. Now, would you say it's a healthy balance? Because I believe it is, but let me see what your thoughts are. Do you think it's a healthy balance when 50% is from agents and 50% is from your own marketing and from your own outreach? Because it sounds like you're leaning towards it's better to have way more from agents than it is and I'm just wondering what the thought is there.
No, that's a great question. I think the good thing about real estate agents is that they are working with a lot of clients. So there's a huge opportunity to bring in new clients. But obviously, if you're thinking about your portfolio and your business, you want to create a healthy balance. I mean, even just real estate agents, one thing Simple Nexus really helps lenders do is to look at all of the opportunities for referrals and to create ways to bring in some additional places that you can get business, whether it's even the pool guy that's talking to people about doing construction and maybe they need to do a refinance loan and bring in some money they can do that work with. So I think it's important to have a healthy balance, but I think not understating how big of an opportunity real estate agents can be for your business is
for
important.
For sure. And in this conversation that we're having right now, we're going to explain to you how you can actually get your realtors to be even more engaged with you, to even share more referrals, because there is something really interesting about what you're saying, Brian, and let's move to the next slide. We'll just finish this topic into the next slide. There's something really interesting about what you said about getting more referrals from agents, because what that says is there's something special about your business that agents are willing to give you more of their business. So if 60, 70% of your business is coming from agents, that's other people validating what you've done for them and the mutual clients. So there's something to be said there. But again, we're going to show you guys how to get more of those agents and the relationship between you and your agents to really flourish, because the beneficiary of that is the borrower, and that's important. We need to make sure that benefit of a closer relationship is reflected on the end user here. All right, some stats and facts. Brian, you want to run through some of this?
Sure, you bet. I love that first stat. The average realtor in the US does 12 transactions a year and they earn less than 50,000 a year. There's a lot of real estate agents out there that are either starting, they're getting their business going, looking for traction, for new opportunities. And I think building healthy partnerships that help them to grow their business and places that they can help grow, a lender's business, I think those relationships are pretty critical. So I think that tells me that we've got some high performing agents, but we've also got a lot of agents that are looking for future business. And how do we work together to grow that?
Yes, 100%. And again, later in this conversation, so stay tuned for this. We're going to be talking about how you use your database to actually, if your agent did 12 deals last year, using your database, you can help your agent do 24 this year. You can literally double their business. We're going to show you how to use your database and that relationship to help the agent do that. To Brian's point, there's some people that need some help. So let's give them that. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, more active realtors in homes and for sale in the US. This is a statistic I've heard over the last 6 months. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You think about how much traffic and how much home prices have changed, and the market is so competitive. You've got also a lot of people looking to help people get into homes. So that tells me that there's a lot of competition for that business.
There's a lot of competition, and so that your agents need your help is what we're saying. Like they need some help because yeah, I mean that's less than a home per agent if that's the case, right? For the year. So all right, let's keep going. This is great.
Yeah, average loans and now. Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, everyone listening in, let us know if you've heard these facts. What do these facts mean to you? Start populating the chat. The more you ask, the more you engage, the better it is for everyone on the call. And the conversation becomes really more playful and than just us drilling information at you. So let us know what you think about these facts and some of this information. Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
Yeah, you bet. Average loans and LO closes a year is currently 4, and it's forecasted to go to 3 with the shift in the market. Alex, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, so the average loan close is currently 4, and it's forecast to go down to 3. My thought, right? I'm at this conference right now. I was at this conference with Assurance, our one of our clients, and there was the Jen Duplessis, I hope I say her name right, was on stage, and she said, instead of getting more leads, convert more of what you have, right? Like focus on what you have. In 2021 and 2020, we saw a lot of lenders and a lot of mortgage advisors, the production team, when they got somebody on the phone that was complicated, not an easy, just slam dunk deal, they would move them to the side because there was a line of people just couldn't wait to do business. Like it was just a huge line. So if somebody was complicated, you saw mortgage advisors and lenders just be like, okay, we'll get back to them. And then they never got back to them. And so I think her point is, you have a group of people that you've been speaking with, that you've been working with, that you've been in touch with. Learn how to bring those people to fruition and get them what they need, and not always looking to hunt. We know this industry is full of hunters. You have to be able to now be multi-skilled. This is the modern lender. This is the modern loan officer. The modern mortgage advisor has to have 2 skills, farming and hunting. And so to me, I think it's true if you only have one source of or this very linear tunnel vision kind of thinking where I must hunt to do what I do to put up my numbers. You need to do both. You want to do way more than 4, do both, right? Find people, partner with people. This is why we're here. You guys are going to hear how to do this. Partner with people, but also look in your existing relationships and figure out how to multiply that. Instead of closing 1, close 3 from your existing relationships, and then find more outside, right? So that's what I would say about that. It's like you have to have 2 skills today, and not just 1.
Yeah, makes total sense. Okay, look at last one. Realtors typically refer 75% or more of their clients to a single preferred lender. This is really interesting to me. I think it's true. I mean, as we all know, realtors need to stay in an area that's best for their clients, giving them options, referring them to multiple LOs that they can work with. But we also know that they have preferences. There's that one lender that they know if they work with, they're going to get the loan closed, they're going to not have headaches. And I think what you find is there's that loyalty that gets built up. So obviously you're not going to want to steer a client directly to somebody. You want to be careful in that. But at the same rate, you're sitting there doing everything you can, hoping they're going to work with the lenders that are going to get the business done.
I personally think this is an amazing stat, and I'd love to hear from everyone that's listening to us right now. If you guys like that stat, like knowing that 75% of the time your agent is referring business to you, I think that's a great stat. I think that shows community. I think that shows relationship. And now the thing that we can all get better at is not using the statistic as just a surface layer success. Let's get deeper. Let's make sure that 75% of the time, when they're dealing with the same lender over and over again, and you're dealing with the same agent over and over again, that your customers see and appreciate that. Let's not just let that be something that we coexist or remember for ourselves, but let's bring the proof to the borrowers to say, look, here's why you're always going to work with us. Every future purchase is going to be between this relationship right here. Every future refi is going to be right here. Any questions you have about your home or mortgage, this group, this team together, this agent and this mortgage advisor or this lender and this real estate office will be here for you moving forward, right? Talking about financial friends. That's how you become financial friends, not plural, not singular, more than one, right? You're bringing an entire team together. And so I love that stat, and I'd love to see it become even more like 90%, but even more clear for the benefit of working together, right? Like, why is that stat even relevant? It's relevant because there's a benefit to the end user, which is the borrower, right? So I do love that stat. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so this is a great poll question, Brian. I love this one. and we just saw the stat that kind of says in some cases yes, in some cases no. But let's see how you feel about this, how the audience feels about their current situation. Are your realtors exclusive to you? And I love the three options we have here. Absolutely, haha, no, and I wish. Let's see what kind of results we get here. Nancy's is in chat.
Yep.
While everyone is answering polls. Let's see. I believe it is true. Go ahead.
No, I was loving that comment. Thanks for sharing. If you're not looking at the chat, we'd encourage you to look there and put your thoughts and comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Nancy's saying, look, I need more agents. I need to work with more agents to get a better conclusion. Well, that's what we're about. How do we help get more agents here and helping us in business?
You're about to find out. Let's see the results of this poll. Okay. Awesome. This is great. Well, you're in the right place. The 50%, that say I wish and haha no. So that's 80% of you are saying like, come on, I need that relationship with my agent. I love the honesty, guys. Thank you for keeping it honest, because it's very easy to just be like, of course, everyone refers all their business to me. So keeping it honest helps make this conversation better. So look, here's what we're about. Let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk exactly about those things. Before we jump right into this, let's talk about what we just found out, that 80% of you wish you had a better relationship with your agent and more exclusive relationship, and the other ones just, the other 30% just said no, like 30% said no, and the others are wishing. What are your thoughts on that, Brian?
I think that's absolutely true. I think you're looking for reliable business. You're looking for people that can help grow your business over time. We all know that the most successful lenders are those that have repeat business, that have clients in the past they've worked with, and family, friends, referrals. I think building up that portfolio of businesses is probably half the battle, and then it's making sure that you're the solid lender that everybody's looking for. So I think when you're looking at agents and how do you bring agents in that want to refer more business, I think it's that. I think it's how do you build value, how do you create opportunities for them, for yourself, and then making sure that when they do come, you're delivering on that business.
So couldn't agree more with everything you said. And I'm hoping to inspire everyone on this call that answered I wish or no, to think about, why do you think someone should be exclusive with you? Let's think about that for a second. Like, what have you created to make yourself exclusive, right? 20% of you know. I'd love to hear 20% of you that said, yes, they're using me exclusively. Why? Why are they using you exclusively? What have you done? And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to put this out there, guys. This is how we lift an industry, right? This is why Simple Nexus and Sales Boomerang are on here. We're lifting the industry. We want help from all of you to help lift the industry. Why do you think they're exclusive with you? I believe it's very important to create an exclusive relationship. Is just like let's talk about marriage for a second, right? That's an exclusive relationship. What is that built on? Give and take, going through struggling times and challenging times and supporting each other through that, right? Celebrating together, winning together, helping each other, giving things to each other without the expectation of getting anything back, but just doing it in fact to help the person that you're both trying to help, which is the buyer, seller, a customer, borrower, whatever you call them in your organization. You need to be thinking about that. So I say, ask yourself, the 80% of you that say I wish and no, have you made it a mutual relationship? Are you giving as much as you're taking? And I'm not talking about marketing dollars. Come on, they don't need marketing dollars. They need a relationship. They need a partner, right? And so, are you doing those things? We're gonna show you a few ways you're gonna be able to do that. If you're not, I'd love to hear from you though. But that's what it's going to take, everyone. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take you giving to your agent, you and your agents coming together and saying, we are doing this together, and together, here's how we multiply the results. It's a compound effect. It's not a necessary evil. I have to use you because I have to do a loan. You want them to feel so great at coming back to you because they know the end result for the mutual client is better than taking it anywhere else. That's what you have to do. So I'd love to hear what people have said. Brian, should we jump into this poll?
Yeah, I just want to make one quick comment.
Yeah.
Nancy and Evelina's comments about being super easy to work with, communicating on status. I think that's so important. In all the agents I talk to, with regards to working with lenders, I would say probably the number one feedback, the number one comment I get is they spend so much of their time, they feel like they spend so much of their time following up on financial information. It's like, I've got my client, I'm worried about close. I mean, as we know, real estate agents are worrying about a whole bunch of things outside of the lending process to get that transaction closed. But the lending piece is so critical to everything that they get nervous about it. They get worried about it. And the more a real estate agent has to reach out and follow up and call and check and all those things, I think it's going the opposite direction. So I love those comments. I think being easy to work with, communicating, that just there's one more reason to build loyalty. And I think if you can be that kind of a lender, and then in addition, help them grow their business, I think even better.
Yeah, that's a win-win-win, right? The triple win that everyone looks for. Love that comment and those thoughts. We got some more activity in chat, so we'll get to that question in a second, Greg. Let's do this poll. Let's pop this poll up. When a realtor refers a client, how successful are you in getting the loan? How successful are you in getting the loan? Let us know what you guys think about this. We're going to take, while you're doing the poll, we're going to take a look at this question. Not all lenders offer the same products. The more diverse the realtors reach or property types, the more lender relationships they will have. If they only work with FHA buyers, it is easy to be the only horse in the barn. Love that comment. So Greg, let me just make sure I understand what you're saying while we're answering this poll. You're saying, hey, it's okay that a realtor has 5, 6, 7, 8 relationships because a great agent will know who does the best loan for this person in this type of house. Is that what I'm hearing you say, Greg? I just want to make sure. You could just post it right into chat if you want. What do you think about that comment there from Greg?
Yeah, I agree. I think if I talk to realtors that work with multiple lenders, it's often that. I know that I've got this one loan officer that is great for this kind of loan. I think the more you can make yourself that go-to person for the clients that the realtor's working with, the better.
Yes.
Yep. Wonderful, Greg.
I love it. All right, let's look at the poll. Let's look at the poll results. I close the deal every time. Awesome. Half of the time, fantastic. Some of the time, none of the time is nobody there. So first of all, very good that we have
That's huge.
Nobody that's not closing deals. That's amazing. Again, this is the point of this conversation, right, Brian? It's like that's get your agents to refer business to you and start building those relationships so they keep bringing more and more to you, because you have 44% of the people say every time. That's amazing, right? And if you're one of those people, let us know how many referrals are you getting on average per month from those agents that you're able to close deals from. Let us know a number, like roundabout, like what are you getting on average every single month from those types of relationships? Half of the time, that's an interesting one. What do you think about that? Why do you think that happens? Is that just basic mortgage reasons, like just people just can't get closed? What do you think that is, Brian?
Well, honestly, I'm surprised those numbers are as high as they are. It tells me that the referrals from real estate agents are gold. I think, how do you get that build that business? But I think naturally, you're going to find clients that can't qualify, clients that are shopping. And in this competitive market, trying to qualify for certain kinds of homes, I think you're not always going to be able to close that deal for those customers. But I think, more than we're looking 88%, at least 50% of the time those close. I mean, that's well over the majority. So
well over them. And those are fantastic numbers. You guys should be proud of yourselves and the relationships since you're putting those in. I would like to see more people. I'm not sure if we have another poll coming up, but I think we do. Let's get everyone chiming in on that. All right, let's start talking about, and by the way, a fun fact that you guys saw there, 76% of the time is the national average. So you guys are right up there. It's fantastic. Okay, so look, let's talk for a minute. Remember, I said we're going to share a secret with you guys, or a process of how you can help your agents double their volume. Okay, as if anyone's ever been on a webinar with us and ever heard us talking about what we believe the relationship between agents and lenders should be, you will have heard some of this before. The goal of this part is to explain to you how important today, more than ever, we've been saying this for 4 years, but how today this type of relationship is more than ever. That's the relationship with your customer base and your referral partners. So critical. Again, I'm at this conference in Baton Rouge for Assurance, and Catherine said something on stage. She said, we often hear loan officers and agents talk about that they're looking for more referral opportunities. And Catherine said, your customer base, if you have 700 people in there, that's 700 referral opportunities. And how do you make that? How do you create those referral opportunities? So your customer base is going to be critical here. So let's take a look what 30 days of having your customer base managed with a borrower intelligence system does for you, and what it means to your agents. Let's pull this. Let's go to the next slide. So what you're about to see is live numbers in the last 30 days for one of our lenders. That this is 30 days of events from within their database. What does this mean to your agents and to you, Brian? I'd love to get your feedback on this once I explain what we're looking at here. So what you're looking at here is in the last 30 days, this organization got 1,300 notifications for a potential total volume from within their own database. That's their customers, their leads, their prospects, their turndowns, their existing customers that had these events happen within their data customer base in 1 month, right? So 30 days. So 314 million in potential volume. Look at these events. Look at what's happening in the market inside your customer base. 113 listings, 800 plus people are shopping for a mortgage with another lender. 17 opportunities in equity. People can take advantage of their equity with the specific criteria that was set up. People are improving their credit. People are qualified for specific loan types. These are all events that are happening in a customer base in a lender's environment today. Now, understand something about this. 30 to 40% of every one of these events, 30 to 40% of every one of these events, possibly going to be much higher this year because of where we are going to be purchase-related events. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt here, Brian, and say that this particular lender only has 30% of these events being purchase related. That is 400 referrals to your agents. I want everybody it's huge. Everybody on this call, just think about that for a second. When was the last time you got 400 referrals from your agents in a month? Now you can take these results and multiply them by 12. Let's go to the next slide. This is a year, okay? This is why is your customer base and your referral partner so important this year? This is it right here. Right. So in a year, this organization had over 20,000 events. They have around 100 LOs, right, Brian? So what do? They have about 200 events per LO per year, right? Or per month. And that's 17 opportunities per month. So I want you to look at this number at the bottom. That's 5 per LO per month in purchase related opportunities that they can give back to their agents every single month. Remember what I said earlier. If your agent did 12 last year, you can help them do 24. But it's a mutual understanding that you're working together on each other's customer base, right? You're working together to get to the same resolution, which is to help this consumer get into a home exactly when they need them. So very, very important to be able to refer business back and forth. Brian, I'd love to hear your thoughts on when you see something like this.
I love the idea of going beyond just being the partner they want to work with. This isn't just about helping them remove that obstacle of, oh my gosh, am I going to close this loan? Is my borrower going to be okay? Like, I think this is going beyond that. This is looking at what are some new opportunities. Let me point out some things to you that maybe you weren't aware of. I mean, loan officers and real estate agents alike, they trust and they rely on that previous business they're working with, and I think real estate agents don't have all the information. So to see there's some information here in the system that can help, key in. Maybe there's a client that we've worked with that is looking for a new opportunity. Just prompting those conversations is a huge deal. I
Yeah.
mean, I can only speak, I can tell you personally, I bought my second home just in the last year. And who was my first phone call? It was to the agent that I worked with before, but she had no idea that I was starting to look and things had changed. And I think
Right.
she would have loved any signals to how do I work with this person again.
Yes, I love that, and congratulations on your second home, by the way.
Thanks.
So it's so interesting. If I go back in time for a minute, back to when COVID just hit in 2020, I remember getting texts and calls from mortgage advisors and originators saying how this has helped, how getting these notifications, they've helped their agents. Because remember, in the beginning, there was a scare, nobody was doing anything, and agents didn't know what to do either. And so I got these amazing texts and calls from originators. They were like, "Look, this our ability to give them a signal to help potentially get a purchase out of this has kept them alive. Like they're still feeding their families because of this." And so we're going to see that again this year, but magnified, because like you said, more agents than properties. So your agents need your help and they need these insights. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's go to the next, unless you got something else, Brian.
No, there's an interesting question. Taylor has a question
Oh yeah.
in the chat. Most of the time when customers come to us, they already have a realtor. How do you refer more leads to realtors? I think it's interesting because tell me if I'm reading this wrong, Alex, that we're looking at, obviously there's that opportunity with a customer that's already buying, that's already looking and shopping. And I think, how do we capture that business? How do we work together and get those people into a home? But the goal here, I think, is looking at past book, looking at past customers and clients, and how do we surface some opportunities that maybe aren't obvious
Yes.
to everybody. And so I think if you're looking through your database as a lender, if you've got tools to help you do that, now you've got an opportunity to say, here's somebody that's kind of in that moment. How do I bring that to somebody?
Exactly right. They may not even be so Taylor. When they have an agent, of course, you're going to just work with the existing agent and the borrower, and you're going to do your job, and you're going to love on them, and you're going to get the deal done. When this is you bringing the opportunity to the agent. This person does not have someone. What we're talking about is actually being the reason the purchase is happening, being the reason there's a mortgage event or a real estate event happening, and bringing it back to your partners every single time. And I'll go as far to say as this, Brian. Everyone on this call, take a note on this, because this is the differentiator if you want to build relationships with agents. When you have a mutual client and you have a system like Sales Boomerang that says, hey, this person is perfectly qualified for this refi, I urge you to contact your agent. And you might be thinking, why would I contact an agent for a refi? Because it is their client just like yours. And they should be able to congratulate their client just like you are, saying, hey, I'm so glad you're working with Brian again. I'm so glad that you're working with this lender again. And move forward. It is in the best interest of the agent to say that. Why? For two reasons. Number one, it makes them look really supportive in the client's eyes. Thank you for calling me. You're not trying to sell me anything. You're just saying congratulations. Yeah, I just want to congratulate you on choosing to work with Brian again. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, if that person does do the refinance with Brian and that lender, right, that means they're staying in the family. That's it. Every next transaction is going to come through both of you. And that is the point. And so your agent needs to support you in every refi as you support your agent in every purchase. To keep that in mind, you do that, lights out, right? This will talk about exclusivity.
Yeah, and I love Greg. Greg, you and I are thinking alike. I think if you look at all of those referrals coming to you that already have a realtor, I think you can look at that as, well, how do I find more? But look at it, every one of those as an opportunity. What are you doing with every one of those clients that are coming with a realtor already? Nancy talked about, I want more referrals from realtors. Well, so the great news is you've got that natural introduction to realtors out there. So now the question is, how do you capture that business? How do you work with them? How do you show them that you can set yourself apart as a lender?
Yes.
And make sure that they want to come back to you?
Yes, exactly right. And technology plays a big role in this. So let's move forward and let's take a look at first of all, this whole question, but then I love we're going into how Simple Nexus helps with all of this. I can't wait for the audience to hear this. So stay tuned for that in just a moment. So how do you best interact with your realtors? This is a great question. How do you best interact with your realtors? Let's hear what you guys are thinking. And as you guys are answering this question, let's see as many of you as possible answer. Last time we had 18. Come on, we got a big group on here. Let's everybody answer. Put your thoughts in this. Put down the email and the phone and the text message. Tell your coworker to leave your office for a minute. And you click on that poll. In the meantime, Nancy's saying, Brian, that a big bank wouldn't like that. Nancy, could you elaborate while we're having this conversation? Put a little bit more longer form. That'd be great. Yeah, elaborate. It'd be awesome to hear. All right. How do you best interact with your realtor? Let's see. point of POS system, emails, texts, phone calls, and in person. What is your way? Let's see the results here. Nice, very good. A lot more people showed up. This is great. All right, no point of sale. Okay, so there's no interaction through point of sale. So Brian, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, of course.
Emails, right? So a lot of you are saying emails and text. So together, what is that? 38% of us are saying, look, we're using the forms, the typical forms of communication, and then 62%, which is not surprising. Is that surprising to you, Brian?
No, it's not. Honestly, it's not surprising. I look at this and I think that tells me pretty close to what I think the averages are in the industry, and there's an opportunity. We've heard the conversations about making myself available, making myself, communicating back. I think there's a lot that happens on phone calls. One thing that's interesting, and I realize not every lender feels the same way about this, but I look at it, and what I hear from real estate agents is they go, look, I know I need this information. I know I'm worried about getting this transaction closed, but I just feel bad. I've called my lender twice today. I don't want to keep bugging them about information. So I think, what are some tools and options that we can proactively engage real estate agents and clients to keep everybody on the same page? Are there ways where we can just remove some of those obstacles, some of that stress? Just give them the information that they're looking for. And I see on here, point of sale wasn't on the list. Nobody on the call today is actively using a piece of technology other than email and texts to do this.
Yes.
And that's honestly why I want to be on this webinar today and talk to people, is to help people see some possibilities, some opportunities. Because I think what we want to do is make sure that the conversations you're having are building loyalty, but also we're so busy. You're looking at how do I build more real estate relationships? How do I build more referral opportunities? Making sure that you can be always available to everybody that needs you. Let's see if we can free up some time. So
I love that, and I can't. Everybody listen up to what Brian just said and what he's about to explain. Can we create a situation where your agent is getting updates and progress reports without having to contact you via email, text, or in person? Brian is saying the thing that's missing is some automation. And let's move to the next slide. I believe you're going to sort of answer some of these concerns and have some suggestions as to best practices here, because I love that automated collaboration that allows you, the lender and the originator, to stay in the flow of what you're doing, knowing that in the background, there's communication between you and the agent, and it's happening on your behalf. Can you talk to that?
Yeah, of course. Really, we look at Simple Nexus looks at this whole journey as a home ownership journey for our clients. How do we help them get into a home? How do we help them find and have a home that's going to benefit them in life? And to do that, we really see that it's a joint relationship in most cases, for especially for new purchases. So you've got somebody looking for a home, they're working with the lender, with the real estate agent, and giving them a way to collaborate together. We know that there are tools like text and email, and I think that the part that everybody loves about it is that it's real time, that they can, it's a little personal. But I also know that there are some information that people are just hunting down. They're like, how do I go find out what's going on? I want to keep asking. And I think we've got, as we know, loan officers are not the only ones that are involved in processing. They want to keep everybody in the loop, but they've got a whole team of people potentially that are helping them. So how do we bring some of that intelligence to the surface so that everybody feels on the same page? If we can, let's go to the next slide.
Yep, keep going.
Just a little bit about Simple Nexus, if you're not familiar with this. We were a company founded in 2011. I'm looking at these numbers, and I know we only put this together just a couple of months ago, but to be honest, we've even grown since here. We're nearing 50,000 active originators in the system. So we're working across the nation. This last year, 1 in 7 loans that were originated were touched by Simple Nexus customers.
That's so cool. Let's just pause for a second, Brian. Let's just recognize you guys and what you've done. How awesome is that? 1 in 7 loans went through Simple Nexus. That's brilliant. That's amazing. It just proves what you guys are looking to do. And you guys are one of the organizations, which is why we love to work with you, that is selfless. You guys are selfless. You're constantly giving back to the community, and just amazing success. So congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I think in the end, our motivation is simple. We want to help people get into homes. We want to help people get through that home ownership journey and have a seamless experience across the board. So we've had some success. We're really happy about it. But what really gets us excited is when we see people come into homes and have that opportunity. So if we can go to the next slide, I just want to share a couple of thoughts on kind of how we can help. If you look at the journey, that homeownership journey, it begins before you ever get to lending. We saw some comments in here about when the referral comes to me, they already have an agent. Well, honestly, we see this often the same. Finding a realtor is one of the first steps most homeowners are looking for. I'm trying to find the right home. Finding how to pay for it is almost like that secondary thought. It's like, no, I want to find a home and then I'll figure out the money. And that's what we want to help them through. So
Yes.
we see finding a realtor as an opportunity. Early on, they're having conversations with clients that are potential referral opportunities for lenders. And then finding a lender. You can see as it goes through here, there's a whole process all the way through post-close, maintaining a relationship and having future opportunities with those same clients.
Let me ask you a question, Brian. Just real quick, because of what you're saying here. I want to see if we can get a little bit of engagement on this. And by the way, Greg, everyone you're commenting, Brian and I are going to get to all those comments in just a moment. So Brian, what I'm hearing you say is this process, this already works, this already exists. Like your lenders are already doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously we have a few future vision where we want to grow and make this even more seamless. Sure. There's more parts of the journey that we haven't yet tackled that we'll get to. But yeah, this is what we see. We see borrowers that are working with real estate agents early and having those first conversations. One of the first conversations that any real estate agent has with most of their clients is, well, let's get you qualified. Let's see what you can qualify. Help us find out, what kind of home we should be looking for. And so early, right from the beginning, regardless where that conversation starts, it's a joint discussion about how do we get people ready for this purchase, for this transaction. And then we're in parallel working through both parts of it. We're working through making sure the financial side's ready and that everything's going to happen on the close. But then at the end,
is everything. So for instance, like when it says applying for a loan, if I'm an agent and I referred business to, Greg's company that's chatting here, and I'm an agent, I referred business there. They're using Simple Nexus. When the person goes into applying for a loan, are you telling me your system will just notify me, the agent, hey, just letting you know that referral you made, they're applying now? Is that true? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. What we see typically is there's an app that a lender and a real estate agent can work with their clients, and inside this app is a lot of tools that'll help a homeowner and a real estate agent and lenders. Everybody can work in the same platform. If it's as simple as running mortgage calculations, just checking out some information to help me know what I'm doing in my search. A real estate agent just told me yesterday, they said, sharing out the Simple Nexus app is the easiest way to introduce my borrower to applying for a loan.
Fantastic.
They can share the app, they can write there on their phone, they can scan all the documents, enter their information, and everybody's kept in the loop. The loan officer knows, hey, there's a new client that's coming. This was just referred. And same on the other side, the real estate agent will get notified, hey, your client just finished their loan application.
Obviously signing disclosures or whatever.
Yeah, the financial information, we're going to keep everybody safe and make sure that we're sharing only the right information, but helping everybody see we're progressing through this.
I love this. I love this. Everyone that's on, just give us your thoughts. Isn't that a modern way of keeping your agents in the loop? How, I'd love to hear from you guys, and then we're going to jump into some of your questions after Brian finishes this piece. Like, isn't this what it's like? Aren't your agents asking for this? Aren't you feeling that when you're getting texts and emails and calls? Are they often about where are we? What's happening? What's going on? Like, wouldn't this solve that and give you some time back? Which, by the way, I hear, Brian, I could be wrong, but I hear time is a precious thing. And so if you can get some of that time back to do some more valuable things, because this pain is resolved. Would you like that? Love to hear in chat, but go ahead, Brian, let's finish up here.
No, I just say, and I think it's not just about time. I think everybody wants to help their clients. Everybody wants to do this. But if you're spending all of your time on status updates, if you're spending all your time on that routine stuff, then can you really be putting your personal touch on it, making sure they're doing okay? How are you feeling about things? I think the personal side of getting somebody into a home is just as important as the logistical detail side of it. And I think that's partly what builds loyalty for real estate agents and for lenders.
Yeah, I love that. So, wow, we got a lot of, let's jump onto these comments for a second, or do you want go to the last slide? It's your call.
No, I think it's great. Stan, I just saw your comment come in. Honestly, the way Simple Nexus thinks about it is these are potential referral opportunities. We have the opportunity, and we can jump to the next slide, and I'll talk through a couple of those things. But there are a lot of things we can do for somebody that's in the process of getting a loan closed, that's working with a client. So things like getting access to pre-approval letters, to getting status on the loan and visibility into how things are progressing. I think some of those things are simple. Those are things we can do because we're already helping process those loans. But not everybody needs that same access. And so being able to refer a client, we see lenders all day long that are actively working with their real estate partners, but they're also looking for new. I mentioned earlier the pool guy. That's really, honestly, a legitimate referral source. I was talking to a loan officer that said they were working with this pool person, and that's a big ticket item. Somebody's adding a pool to their home. There's a lot of money to be spent there. How do they afford it? And I think there's some financial conversations that happen.
Yeah.
Just saying, hey, look, this is for you to work out, but let me send you my guy. He works with people and helps them all day long to work through this. So yeah, the reality is anybody can use this app and share it out to clients or to friends or to family. And then when that happens, you're starting to see referrals that can come into your business that maybe you weren't even aware there was a conversation happening.
Exactly.
You help grandma with a loan, and her grandson then is finally at a point of buying a home, and then his family, and it can just spread. And I think the lenders that embrace using their network to build opportunity, I think you'll find there's referrals and business that come in that they weren't even really expecting because of it. It's just a little bit of investment, you get some back out.
There's some brilliance in that in investing into and embracing. I love that, embracing the referral relationships you have and actually putting them to work, and then making it easy for it to work mutually. So I want to get back to something interesting, Brian. So Nancy
Sure.
had said something earlier, and I want to get back to you, Nancy, since you brought it up. She said, I worked at B of A, and once I had a client given to me by an agent. The borrower bought with another agent. My manager said I couldn't share it since it was the bank's client. Laugh out loud. I edit status emails from processing and underwriting and forward to the agent partner. I see. Okay, so what it sounds like is a big bank like that is just trying to be very protective, and that's they have a different business model. What do you think about that, Brian? Like, do you hear this a lot?
Honestly, it's here and there. I've heard it before, for sure. I think the reality is you've got to work with what makes most sense for your business. But those partnerships that you're working with, those agents that you're working with, how do we cultivate and just make sure you've got business that's still coming in, that you are the partner they want to work with? I think the comment about editing status emails, processing, underwriting, and forwarding it to the agent and partner, I think that's right. Most loan officers spend a lot of time trying to keep everybody on the same page and making sure everybody's in the loop. And so we're really looking at Simple Nexus to solve both of those problems. We're looking at how do we surface and bring some of that status and information so that, at 11:30 at night, when the loan officers, hopefully being able to take a break for the evening, and a real estate agent's still up panicking because the close is the next day. Like, how do we make sure that everybody's got what they need when they're doing it? So.
Yeah, I agree. And I think what Nancy is referring to also is just, there's going to be those situations that come up. But again, like Brian said, it depends on what relationships you have with which banks and what makes sense to your business. I also want to read the comment from Greg. I thought this was really interesting. Companies have a bad habit of hurting the reputation of the LO. LOs must be vigilant today. So your word is gold. Our phone call is worth more than anything else in today's world. The consumer direct guys are almost dead. They have no relationship. Very interesting comment. The consumer direct model is a different model. It's a different animal. And the consumer direct groups have been doing as much as possible to start to change those things. There's great organizations that I like to talk about. So Jason Mitchell is trying to help consumer direct groups. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. Look them up. The Jason Mitchell group. This group is working with consumer directs to build real estate relationships without having to have people on the street all over the country. So to your point, Greg, those consumer direct groups have to reinvent their model. One of the other ways consumer direct groups are reinventing that model I will proudly say that Sales Boomerang is helping a ton of consumer direct groups take their customer base, take their database, take all their opportunities, and tee them up properly for a relationship building type of conversation with both the borrower and the agent that they can refer business to, using not their normal mill kind of process where you're just the next person in line, but actually doing a deal and letting the consumer know that we're going to be following up with you for another transaction, using some of the relationship tactics you see in retail and servicing in consumer direct. But the only way they're able to do that is with technology. I mean, that's truly the case. Without technology being able to surface some things for them, and relationships with groups like a Jason Mitchell, that becomes really hard to build relationships. But Greg, we think every channel in this industry deserves a chance to help the industry, right? And so, yep, they got to reinvent, and you make a great point, but there is reinvention happening. So I think you brought up something great. Brian, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, just a quick comment, Greg. I really appreciate the comment. I think obviously consumer direct has a different business. I think some of the ways they've applied technology, some of those companies, is interesting. I think helping customers to be a little more self-service and help with some of the routine stuff is interesting. But you're right, not having a relationship as part of it, that can be a way a lender can differentiate themselves. And the way Simple Nexus looks at it, the way I look at it is, why does it have to go all the way to automation? Why does it have to go all the way to direct consumer? I think the reality is, how do we bring some of that technology that will really help? I mean, I talk to clients all day long and to borrowers that really are just trying to get it done. They just want to make this easy and simple. But I will tell you, as when I was a first-time home buyer, I was nervous about the process. Even with my new home that I bought, I mean, it was a little more complicated. There's a little more money involved, and I think so. Having just somebody that could have my back and to build that relationship around me, I think really made the difference. So I think we're looking at, how do we help enable some of those automations, some of those opportunities, so it's simple, but at the same rate leaving, and we talked about time,
Yes.
leaving some of that time for that loan officer to spend their energy on building a loyal customer and making sure they're comfortable through the process, instead of just, here, we need another signature.
Yes, and and a loan officer and agent. Like, this is the beauty of what you went through, and I'm hoping this was your experience, Brian, is that you had responses from your agent, you had responses from your lender, and they were not contradictive. They were together. That gave you the security you needed to be like, this is a much bigger home with a lot more money involved. I don't want to stress out. And thank you, lender and agent, for working together. And that should happen all the time. That's what's been missing, guys. This, and it's no one's fault. It is just over time. It's repetition. It's programming. We've programmed this industry to be like, look, I asked agents for referrals, they give me referrals, we move on. I ask agent for referrals, they give me, okay. And so you're talking about decades of that programming. We're just breaking it up a little bit. We're reprogramming for the future here, right? The future is what we're seeing a lot of. We're seeing real estate organizations launching mortgage divisions buying agents. For a reason. They want that cohesive communication from both sides, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to buy an agency. You don't have to buy a mortgage company to have that exact same cohesive, supportive relationship. As long as you can implement the proper technology tech stack that communicate together, communicate with all parties, and gives you the time, go right back to time, Brian, gives you the time to be on the same page, knowing confidently, right? Oh, yep, we did this yesterday. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, we're on track. And it's your agent telling your borrower that their paperwork is submitted, right? Like, hey, I just want you to know, I know, great. If you need anything, I'm there for you. And it's the things like Simple Nexus that make that happen. And it's technologies like Sales Boomerang that tee up who should you be talking to, right? Sales Boomerang now tees it up and says, you don't have to worry about if they're qualified or not. You're getting this alert because they are qualified. Now work together to get the best solution for them, right? What's going to be? Is it a home? Is it a refinance? Is it a cash? What's it going to be? Is it a HELOC, an ARM? What's it? That's the focus. Don't think about what they can do. Always know that they're capable, your customer is capable of doing something, then partner with the agent and actually deliver that something to them in a way that is a shock and awe, surprise. I didn't expect this, right? Set the new standard. Be the ones to set the new standard. Make borrowers ask you, hey, am I going to be updated? Like, is this? No? Okay, I'm sorry. I need that experience. I'm not ever going backwards. You gave me this experience last time, Brian. I'm used to it. I'm sorry I talked to you, Mr. and Mrs. New Lender. I'm going back to Brian because I need that experience. I need everything to be communicating to everyone. And so set the standard, guys. everyone, you guys, you know this, Brian. I think you've heard this quote before. Dave Savage says it all the time. He says, technology is not going to replace people. Lenders using technology are going to replace lenders that aren't, right? And that's it. So you're not being replaced. It's those that are implementing resources to help them and get more time back. They're going to be they're just going to be part of the future of this industry. That's all. It's nothing to scare anyone. Just can you evolve? That's all. But I love the dialogue. I love the conversation. Brian, is there anything else to add here, or should we just completely open it up for the rest of the time to hear from folks?
I think it's great. I really appreciate the thoughts. I love the chat that we've had, but I'd love to hear any other thoughts that anyone on the chat has.
Yeah, let's put it on the last slide here so people can see us and reach out to us if they need us, and let's keep this dialogue going because we have a few minutes left. Can you evolve is correct. That's right, Greg. That's it. That's all this is. It's an evolution, right? And this isn't surprise, Brian. Is this a surprise? Nature is all about evolution. Nature evolves constantly without anyone asking it questions. It just does it. We are in that flow, right? This is just natural.
Absolutely. I think as you're looking for new clients, I think our customers are learning to expect different things as well. They, I look at my 19-year-old and what she expects from relationships and conversations very different than what I grew up with. So I think making sure that you are that go-to lender for anybody that you're working with. I think having the right tools, the right opportunity and availability is key.
It is absolutely key. There's a question for you, Brian, in the chat there.
Yeah, is Simple Nexus available through Encompass? So Simple Nexus is arguably the POS that works the best with Encompass. We've had a long history of working with Encompass. We work with other LOSs as well, but Encompass, we have fantastic support. So we can work seamlessly with people that are on the backside of the loan that are working every day in Encompass. And we've got tools that'll work together. So if you're in the front end working with customers and clients and being that borrower facing piece, anything you do there will make its way back into Encompass. And Encompass is a system of record that we trust and we want to make sure is up to date. So, and likewise, if you're in Encompass and you're sending out disclosures and things like that, we work together with the system to make sure that everything goes together. So.
Great question, Stan. Great. Yeah, I mean, look, guys, Simple Nexus is top notch, first class, world class type of organization, and it's with the technology and with the people within the organization. So, great question, Stan. Look, Simple Nexus and Sales Boomerang, Brian and I come on this call to give you guys access to information to help you make decisions. This isn't a sales pitch. We have seen the results of what happens when you implement these solutions, when you commit to this, industry, to commit to your clients and commit to getting support from technologies that are built specifically to help you do what you came to this industry to do. And so, look, you're going to see amazing results with implementing something like Simple Nexus. If you're already on it, ask how to utilize this exact solution that Brian was talking about. If you're with Sales Boomerang, if you guys don't have anything that's giving you insights on your clients that help you help your agent, help your borrowers every single day, a prioritized list of who to call. Remember, you've all been trained, and you yourself may be training people to say, call your customer base, 20 people a day. Well, Sales Boomerang tells you which 20 to call, which ones actually can take help from you today. And then you're using Simple Nexus to start the process and get everyone involved. And so implement both, really see your business change, inquire, talk to Brian, talk to the Simple Nexus team, learn. There is a reason why both of these organizations are doing such great things in this industry. So thank you all. Greg has another one. There's two. Ashley's asking questions too. Are Sales Boomerang and Simple Nexus integrated with Blend? That's an interesting question, Brian.
Yes.
So go ahead. So Ashley, Brian and I will answer this separately here. Simple Nexus and Blend are two separate organizations, and I don't know if you can answer that one, Brian.
Yeah, of course. Blend is arguably a competitor to Simple Nexus. They do some point of sale. We do have customers that are using multiple stacks in tech, and we want to work with our clients to make sure they have the best opportunity to use whatever tech stack makes sense to them. But as far as Simple Nexus, we see ourselves as a better solution for our clients than Blend is.
Yeah. So the integrations do exist. It just wouldn't be between those two organizations, but we work with Simple Nexus and have an amazing relationship with them. This is not the first time this type of change has taken place. I have been through 3 of these cycles, and tech has never been more effective. Greg, I love that. It's so true. I mean, I don't know what to say. This industry has finally come of age, you can say. Other industries have been here, and we have finally come of age. And I don't know, Brian, if you ever heard me talk about this, but I would like this industry to become something that other industries look at to get ideas from. So far, we've just been fishing in other people's ponds. And nobody's come here and been like, oh, you guys really innovated something amazing here. We're going to start using this in our industry. But I think we're finally here. I think we're finally at a place where technologies like ours build relationships like we have and can do something that other industries can look at. And so, Greg, I love your point and couldn't agree more. Well, look, we've come to the end of the line here for this call. We wish we could stay on longer and have these dialogues. How active was the audience today, Brian? That was awesome.
That's great. Yeah, please, if you've got questions and follow up, you've got our contact information right here. I would love to hear from you. Yes. I'd love another conversation with somebody. I think, Nancy, you mentioned, I'd love to learn how to use the app better. I'm totally open to those conversations. Please reach out if you have questions.
Yeah, and his email is right there. He's not hiding it. So literally reach out and talk to Brian, and Brian and his team will take care of you guys. Well, Brian, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be seeing you in about 6 days. Fired up.
Yes, sounds good.
That. Cool.
Thanks for the conversation. Everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.